You know what? I ain't even sure how to do thumbnails yet and all that. I need to be reaching out to some of these brothers like Red and a couple other cats that got channels to see how you do thumbnails. But I'm gonna just leave this up right here because I don't know how to do a thumbnail. But yeah, man, let's talk about some things real quick. And I just want to point out some stuff right now. Um, Shout out to Cherokee to Lou, man. Look, I done told you, girl, stop playing with me about this kind of shit. You already know. You know how I am. You already know I'm going in. Look, y'all know how I am with this whole Masonic thing. Y'all know my stance on it. You all know how I feel about a lot of things. Y'all know how I feel about homosexuality, how I feel about interracial dating, and, you know, the whole thing. And the Masonic order stuff is no different. I don't hate anybody. I can't stop anybody from doing whatever it is they choose to do. And that includes bad stuff. Like, you know, people who do, you know, bad things, especially like bad things to other people, whatever. Like, if I ain't around and it wasn't on my watch and I didn't witness it, et cetera, or you know, whatever, then, you know, I can't control what other people do. Right? But this right here is in regards to this whole thing with the train derailment out there in East Palestine, actually Palestine, Ohio. Because, you know, I've been wondering, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what's been going on really out there and this, that, and the other, and woo, woo. And I forgot the sister is out in Ohio, you know, not maybe necessarily in East Palestine, but she lives in the state. And I ran across this chick on YouTube who called herself Squirrel Tribe. And, you know, she was breaking down some interesting things in regards to this derailment, right? Now, I haven't said anything about it. I kind of like just, you know, I've been back in the cut or whatever. I've been a little hasty with a couple of videos that I put out in the past. I think like 2 of them. So it's like, you know, certain things you don't ever want to rush into certain things that may be real big or in the blah, blah, blah. But with this particular situation, it ain't been in the news. They like... When they start setting, look, the train derailed and the chemical and shit that they purposely set on fire, that leaked all into the ground and in the water, that they purposely set on fire. The shit was burning for 2 days before, it was burning for 2 days. And then it took God knows how long after that for anybody even giving any media attention. The whole thing had happened close to 10 days before the media even started covering it. Most people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I only knew about it just based off the fact that, you know, I look for this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, like I said, I'm trying to get my balls back, like Shorty told them in Talladega Nights. And I want to get back on here and start breaking down, you know, the stuff that I used to break down on my original channel. But for those who was with me with my original channel, y'all already know how they used to do me. You already know how they used to do me. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like that's what's been making me so slow into getting back into it. But my reason for making this video now is based off, like I said, the sister, you know, we be on Discord and shit, you know, just like. So when she posted it, I was like, oh, shit, okay. So again, this is what I was explaining to you guys on my original channel. When we talk about psychological operations and we talk about things that may be fake and phony and this, that, and the other, right? Here's some of the things that I'll be talking to you guys about. Just based off this right here alone. Like, I could talk about just this picture for 2 hours, right? Just that alone. But again, I want to try to tie things in together so people understand why I talk about the stuff I talk about in the things that I say. I am not telling you that nothing didn't happen in East Palestine. I'm not saying that it's a psyop in regards to nothing happened. It's not real. Nobody's suffering it. No. As you all remember from my original channel, I tell you all the time, just because it was a psyop, which is short for psychological operation, that don't mean that wasn't nobody affected. That don't mean nobody didn't die. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that. It don't mean that at all. It just means that this shit really didn't happen the way that they told you. And it's like how I said again, brute force will be never as strong as deception. So in a situation like this catastrophe that they dealing with in East Palestine, Ohio, is not a sign of brute force. but yet people are being affected. People are going to die from this. Based off just from what I know and what I've learned, and just, me being in the automotive industry, the trucking industry, and just, my knowledge of just being alive almost 46 years and things that I've learned and acquired over the years. This was planned. All right? See, that's a part of the psychological operation. This was planned. This was planned. And the sign they got right here, wherever the hell geographically, when you get down to longitude and latitude or whatever, as to where this sign is, this right here is the proof. And I'm look, let me back up. Let me say this. My heart and my condolences go out to the people that have to deal with and survive and probably wither away and die through this crap that these people have unleashed upon these people. Now, getting back to the girl that I ran into on YouTube, call herself Squirrel Tribe. She was bringing up some things that I kind of heard about already, but are very interesting facts. She connected a lot of the channels of water and the way that they flow in and out of that damn river that's not too far from where this happened, where it leaked off into, and this, that, and the other, and some of the directions that it'll flow in. Now, she was also bringing up the whole thing about the wind trajectory in regards to when they set it on fire. Because you got to remember, when you set stuff on fire, the elements change. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, if you take something like wood and you set it on fire and it burned, that very same thing you knew of as wood is unleashing and putting things into the air that's no longer wood. But it's the same wood that it started out with. It just transformed into something else when it started burning. So for them to go in there and to purposely leak it out, because I heard about that in the very beginning. They was talking about that on social media before the mainstream media started covering it. People was making videos about how they purposely leaked it out into the ground and the shit's supposed to went everywhere and this, that, and the other, and they purposely set it on fire. Once you combust it, once you turn it into a combustible element, there's going to be a lot of chemicals that come from that. All right? Now, this is just from my experience and my knowledge of automotive school and the reason for why they started using catalytic converters. All right. It was designed, and also with the whole thing about the diesel exhaust fluid, which we know of as DEF fluid, which they put in all, you hear me? All diesel engines. I wouldn't give a rat's ass if it's a car. If it's a diesel engine, you have a DEF fluid system attached to that engine for the sole purpose of when you burn that diesel fluid, you're able to transform some of those harmful emissions and gases into something else to be released out of the exhaust pipe that's not as harmful into the air. All right? And that's going back to what I said in the beginning about just from my knowledge and things that I've acquired over the years and blah, blah, blah. All right? I'm not going into no story about that. But I'm just trying to help you understand why I'm looking at it and seeing it from the perspective that I'm seeing it from. Once they set that shit on fire, it turned into something else. Now, according to what the girl was talking about in the video, I forgot what they call it. I forgot, and she kept saying it too. That's a damn shame. But it transforms into a lot of different things, even when it hits air, even when it goes into the water, it turns into something different, not just from when you set it on fire. So when you bring up the whole thing about how she was connecting the different waterways and how the Ohio River emptying into the Mississippi and all this other bullshit and how it's flowing downstream and coming into Kentucky and all this other crazy shit. And she brought up how they reporting that 50-some thousand aquatic life and amphibians and reptiles and all this shit done died since this time in a very small area of land. This is going back to your whole order out of chaos. Now, I don't necessarily agree with order out of chaos. I don't, the Georgia Guidestone shit, right? See, the thing that pissed me off with people is they'll do shit right in your face. They'll tell you and this, that, and the other. And 1 week later, ain't nobody thinking about it. And what upset me is, here it is, I'm sitting back right now, sipping on a 10-year-old bottle of bourbon, smoking some good fucking bud, and I do this quite frequently, right? And even with that being said, you would think that I'm the motherfucker that would have been and forgot about this bullshit that they doing. But yet, here it is, you got the person that's sitting over here, smoking some good bud, drinking a 10-year-old bottle of bourbon, not scotch, but bourbon, All right? You would think that I'd be the first motherfucker that went to sleep, woke up with the bottle upside my head and the whole 9 yards, and I don't remember nothing. Right? But yeah, it's me that's on here right now making this video. This is the problem that I have with people. That's why I stay away from people. Like, this is why I don't deal with people. Why? Because people ain't gonna do nothing. Nothing. And when I say stuff like that, the first thing people do is they get aggressive. They think I'm talking about taking arms and just, well, I want to fight and this, that, and the other. So now they want to get aggressive. And man, what you talking about, man? We ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't no chumping. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, nah, man, you don't understand what I mean when I say motherfuckers ain't gonna do nothing. When I say people ain't gonna do nothing, they not gonna even say no. All right? That's long before you pick up the pistol and load it up and all that other shit. Long before you even get to that, motherfucker won't even say no. You know, it's like the old famous cliche that I always hear. Well, I'm just one person. What I'm supposed to do? What I supposed to do? I'm just one person. And I sit back and I look over at him. It's usually a grown-ass man. Usually. I usually don't hear that from women. It's usually men that I've heard say that. And the first thing I do, I look him dead in his eye and I just say, well, man, you know, you could say no. That shit usually lead to an argument. Motherfucker get all huffy and puffy and wind all in his chest and shit. Because you pissed off that I just exposed the obvious to you. How the hell you mad at me? So, again, my prayers and my thoughts go out to the people that's dealing with this in Ohio. As far as I'm concerned, there's not enough exposure. There's not enough coverage. There should be more videos. I'm going to have to check some other sources that I deal with other than ScrewTube, all right, to try to get more information in regards to this situation that's going on out there. I don't really know a lot of people that are out in Ohio. I can't hit one of my homies up. He do got relatives. Matter of fact, that is a good idea. Now that I'm thinking about this, I can't hit him up because he's got relatives in Ohio. So we got to get some more exposure in regards to this because this is telling. This is telling. And the minute Cherokee put it up, I'm like, man, I'm going in. I'm going clean in. Because at the end of the day, I don't agree with any of this. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. But it is so, and it is what it is. All right? Right below the actual square and compass with the G in the middle, you got the Baphomet. You know, you can get the Baphomet out of that star down at the bottom. And it's a star that's like turned on his axis and it's supposed to mean some other shit. And they was using this when they will do like pentagrams and shit in the floor. When you go back and watch the movies like Ghoulies and a couple other movies they made. I think one of the Leprechaun movies and all the other bullshit where they had the candles and shit all around and the circle and all sort of crazy dumb shit. I mean, I'm not with it. I ain't never been with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really rock with people that's with it. Or at the very least, if I know you are related to you, I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that this shit is what it is. Regardless if it's old ancient knowledge of ours and we done went to sleep and forgot it and now they done turned it into secrets and perverted and whatever. I'm not denouncing or disagreeing with any of that. I'm just trying to bring it to the forefront. It's no different. Like, I'll give you a good example and I'm gonna get up out of here. It's the same thing with the whole thing like with Rihanna. Remember I did the video a couple of days ago with Rihanna showing y'all that big ass lump of mashed potatoes in that nigga's throat? I'm not over here trying to like belittle people and put people down and try to make money off making videos doing this kind of stuff. I try to get people to understand that this is why we are where we are with the children. When you see that picture of the video that I did with Rihanna and you see that big ass Adam's apple, man, in that motherfucker's throat. And you know fucking well that women don't have that. My response is, this is why we are where we are with the kids. This is how you transform this into this, which is another reason why I keep telling y'all, go back and watch Wayward Pines. Go back and watch the TV show Wayward Pines. I even told Red to be talking about people are wayward and this, that, and the other. And I always laugh and shit because I know the definition of the word. You know what I'm saying? And like how I keep telling y'all, the damn TV show is an exact replication of the definition of the word wayward. Like, these motherfuckers are bizarre as hell. I was so glad they killed Terrence Howard off in, like, the 4th episode or whatever. And he came back sporadically and, you know, maybe like 2 or 3 episodes down the road. But it was like some back in the past type shit or whatever. I'm so happy they killed him off. Because it's like, bro, what are you doing in a show like this? And it was creepy as hell, eating ice cream and shit. It's like, nigga, you are an ice cream cone eating ass nigga. What are you doing, bro? What the... Oh my God. But the show, fuck Terrence Howard, the show is an exact representation of what the word wayward means. Go look up the word wayward. It's one word, Wayward. Go look the word up, especially if you got an etymology dictionary. Especially if you got an etymology dictionary. Go look up the word wayward. And it expresses this sign that you're looking at right here. This is Ridge Alone with, man. I make videos like this because I love y'all. Peace.